The cameras were rolling, the studio lights burned hot, and the stage of The View buzzed with anticipation. It was supposed to be just another episode, another round of spirited debates, playful jabs, and occasional heated arguments. But no one in that room, not even the seasoned hosts, could have predicted what would unfold when Senator John Kennedy sat down in that chair. Within minutes, the atmosphere shifted from laughter to tension, and with a single sentence, Kennedy would leave the studio in absolute chaos. It began innocently enough. Whoopi Goldberg, leaning back in her chair, opened the conversation with her usual sharp wit. "Senator Kennedy," she said with a smile that barely hid her skepticism, "you've been known for some pretty colorful one-liners in the Senate. But this is The View, you're on our turf today. Think you can handle it?" Kennedy chuckled, his southern drawl disarming as always. "Well, MS. Goldberg," he replied, "I've been in Washington long enough to know a firing squad when I see one. But I reckon I can handle myself just fine." The audience laughed, the host smiled, and the conversation rolled on. At first, it was light-hearted banter, discussions about his background, his humor, his unique way of cutting through political noise. But then Joy Behar leaned forward, her eyes narrowing. "Senator, let's get serious. People say your policies hurt ordinary Americans. They say you talk folksy, but behind the curtain, you stand with the powerful. How do you respond to that?" The air grew thick. Kennedy's smile faded, and his voice lowered, steady and deliberate. "Ms. Behar, I grew up around folks who worked with their hands, who prayed with calloused fingers, who didn't ask for much except a fair shot. I don't stand with the powerful. I stand with the people who never get invited to fancy cocktail parties in Washington." The crowd clapped politely, but the hosts pressed harder. Sunny Hostin shook her head. "That sounds nice, Senator, but people are suffering. Healthcare, wages, education, all of it. And you've opposed bills that could have helped millions." Kennedy leaned forward now, his tone sharper. "And I've supported bills that did help millions, Ms. Hostin. But let me tell you something, it isn't always about passing another 1,000-page law written by lobbyists in some backroom. It's about remembering that behind every number, every statistic, there's a family just trying to make it through the week." The debate intensified. Voices overlapped. Whoopi raised her hands to quiet everyone. "So what's your solution then, Senator? What's the one thing you think this country needs most right now?" That was the moment. Kennedy paused, letting the silence hang in the air. The audience leaned in. The hosts waited, bracing for another political cliché. Instead, he gave them a sentence no one expected. "America doesn't have a policy problem, it has a heart problem." The room went still. Even Joy, usually quick with a retort,